Exhaust Heat, released in America as F1 ROC Race of Champions, was a racing game developed for the Super Nintendo by Seta Corporation, a company which was mostly known for puzzle and golf games. It was released in 1992. The game had to work against the odds to get noticed, having come out after Nintendo's own F-Zero. F-Zero had pulled out all of the Mode 7 graphical tricks that it could, and had an excellent soundtrack, and even more importantly, a great sense of speed. At first, in comparison to this, Exhaust Heat seemed to be seen by most people as being something of a letdown. Yet, more or less 75% of the kids I know actually owned Exhaust Heat. Initially, you'll notice the graphics are not up to the standards of F-Zero, and the game doesn't feel anywhere near as fast. Once you've progressed and completed a few races in the career mode though, things start to change. You earn cash, and this cash gives you access to more powerful engines, better tyres, etc. You soon learn that with the right modifications and settings, your car can move like greased lightning. The career mode in this game is excellent. It's less of a flash and bang racer, which you will feel happy to spend about 5 minutes on now and then, and more of an all-out consuming racer. This is its big strength. This is not to say that the game is boring, because it is far from it. To compare this to a game I previously reviewed, ESPN Speed World, in Speed World the minimum number of laps you can do is 10, and quite frankly after a race or two 10 laps begins to feel like an eternity in some kind of realm of complete boredom. Here in Exhaust Heat my first proper race was 3 laps. 3 laps which actually felt exciting. In the first race I played to try and review this game, I managed to come 4th, despite the fact I thought I'd put in a really good effort. For a second this was annoying, as I didn't really see how I could have done much better. But then I remembered another game I'd played not too long ago, and that was MotoGP 2013 on the PlayStation Vita. In that game it had taken a fair amount of time for me to get into the game, and some effort before I'd managed to get a first. This is the kind of game Exhaust Heat is. You need to put in the effort. And sometimes you have to slog along a little, working till you can afford the upgrades, till you can learn every curve of the track. It's not an easy game, but it's a very rewarding one. If I was going to take a look at this game's negative points, I'd have to say that it looks very plain. There's very little variety in the backgrounds, and the cars themselves are small and lacking in detail. Add to this the fact there's no in-game music, which is a shame, as the music featured in the game in other places is brilliant. The Grand Prix mode does not just last for one season, you seem to be able to carry on as long as you want, well, as far as I believe. And the game actually has good presentation. You know, you see yourself stood on a podium when you get a top 3 finish. You see the van come and take your car away. It's great. Great little bits like that. One thing to bear in mind is that the game hasn't aged particularly well. It's still playable, but it really does look like a dog. I'd advise you not to let this get to you though. If you can get past the surface layer to the real depth of this game, I think you're in for a treat. I'd give this game a nice solid 7 out of 10. There are copies of the game cartridge only online for as little as about £5 including postage. And you can usually get a fully boxed copy for under 15 if you really want to go to the trouble. Basically at £5, anyone who has a SNES and the slightest interest in racing games should really just give this a go. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope to see you again.